Good morning all. I'm Fraser, the head coach at Noble Life. And I'm here to tell you about something that happened to me over the weekend with a car park conflict. Now, anybody that drives has had something like this happen to them. And effectively, what happened to me was we were going for a bite of lunch. I dropped off my wife, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law and nephew at the food court and went to go and find a parking space as it was really busy, being that it was a Saturday morning. Now, I got to finding a space. As somebody was walking towards their car, I just sat and waited. And as they pulled out, I was thinking, great, that'll be my space. Then another guy who'd just come in the car park rushed into the space. Now, that's happened to everybody, but in my mind I thought, well, what's happened there is the guy didn't see me. So I rolled down my window and just said, hey mate, excuse me, I was actually waiting for that space. Thinking that he would then say, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. But his exact response was, so? And then inside me, I felt that rage that bubbles up inside of all of us. And for anybody that says they don't feel it, they're either lying or so suppressed that they don't actually have the emotions when it comes to things like that. And I was thinking to myself, how bloody dare that guy? How bloody dare he? And I was thinking to myself, what am I going to say to him? What am I going to do here? And then I thought to myself, well, what problem am I actually trying to solve here? Yes, I can let my ego get in there. I can let myself get all upset. But what's the actual result of any of that? If I go down that path, it's going to be a lot of wasted time. It's going to be a lot of stress. Stress out me, stress out my family, stress out him, stress out his family. What's the actual problem? Well, the problem is I need a parking space. Now, that was not the only parking space. So when he started to get all aggressive with me, I just said, do you know what, man? You can have that space, I'll go and find another one. And I drove away thinking to myself, hey Fraser, you actually handled that pretty relaxed. Because if you'd spoken to me a few years ago, that's certainly not the way that would have gone. But then I went round and I parked the car, went and had my lunch. The guy actually approached me in the food court as well, and he was like, no, we need to finish this. And I said, well, what do you actually want out of this conversation? You got your parking space. He said, it's the principle. I was like, it doesn't really matter to me what your principles are. My principles are that I was waiting, you weren't. I was supposed to be getting that spot, you decided against it. I'm not going to get into an argument about it. And that really annoyed him, but then I just sort of left it. But that's not the point. The point of this is that the way to avoid a lot of stress is to figure out what the actual problem that you're trying to solve is. Now, you can apply this throughout all areas of your life, whether it be physical, psychologically, personally, or practically. Now let's pick the one that everybody always complains about, everybody always gets wrong here, is physical. So physical comes into three different components. That is your exercise, your fuel, and your sleep. Now that's very, very simplified, but it gets to what we're actually talking about here. Now people say, oh, I can't eat healthy, it doesn't matter what I do. Okay, what's the problem you're actually trying to solve? The problem they're trying to solve is that they are effectively either putting on weight or have low energy or effectively just not getting the nutrients that they need in their diet. Now, they try to solve that by taking things away. But that's not the best way of doing that. The best way of doing that straight away is by bringing in what you need. If you're having a deficit in nutrients, add the nutrients in. When you've done that, you're not going to feel as hungry, then you can start removing the things that are less healthy. That's fairly simple in my eyes. The same thing for exercise. Oh, I don't have time to exercise. So they just complain and they try and fit time for the gym, but they don't take anything away. They're not solving the problem. They're just trying to force a situation, trying to put a temporary sticker, a temporary plaster over the problem. Same thing that if somebody's having problems with their spouse, it could be their wife, could be their husband, their boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't really matter. It could be that maybe you're not having enough sex, you're not having enough deep and meaningful conversations, but what most people do is they pretend that nothing's going wrong, or they'll start to do something nice for their partner, but they're just putting a band-aid over the problem. The problem is that they're not actually connecting. So they've actually got to sit down, be completely honest with themselves and connect. But they don't do that because they don't want to address it. You see? So that's effectively what I'm talking about here, guys, is that people will address a situation, or address a problem, and they'll try and solve the symptoms, they'll try and solve the surface level actions, instead of actually going deeper and finding out what the real problem is. Whether that be an inability to find time, and that might be a problem with your time management system. An inability to find energy, you might be targeting that a different way and trying to find that as an exercise problem, and it could just simply be a sleep problem. But either way, guys, have a think about that across your life, through your physical, your psychological, your personal and your practical, and see where you're targeting the wrong problems and find out exactly what you're trying to solve. With that said, guys, join our Facebook group, and if you're interested in finding out more about Noble Life as a coaching system, you can click the link and book a coaching call with me now.